Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve.
There. Yeah, we had 2 seconds, and the Grateful Dead got brought up, and then we have our talk. Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve. I'm cracking a cold one. It is 11:03 a.m. Sunday, February 26th, the 50th anniversary of the Grateful Dead playing in our hometown of Lincoln, Nebraska at Pershing Municipal Auditorium.
Yeah. Morning, everybody. Yeah. We have a mutual friend that was actually at that concert as a 16-year-old kid.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sure that was, well, I know it changed the course of his life a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
That's great. Yeah. It's one of the, I mean, it really, and it's just another of a run of incredible concerts by a band that was going on. I think this was Grateful Dead 3.0 by this time.
Yeah.
And they were just starting to ramp up. I mean, it was like the third concert of the year leading into two of their greatest years ever. I mean, they were on fire with a sound system that would become the infamous legendary Wall of Sound and a whole slew of new tunes, most of which would remain in the repertoire to this day.
Yeah, man. I was listening to it and we were talking about it. But this is that who's singing backup? Is that Donna?
Yeah, Donna's with him and Phil.
She sounded great on that.
Yeah. Donna there's a reason why they asked her to join the band. I
know she gets a lot of hate.
The occasional yowl.
Yeah. But I feel like that particular, I don't know.
Donna gets a lot of unjust flack.
I agree.
She was a great vocalist. I mean, she was a professional singer long before the Grateful Dead ever darkened her door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I was just listening to that show and I was like, is that's got to be Don? I mean, I don't really know all my history as well as you do, but I'm like, that sounds. I mean, she's backing up.
She has
really well.
She was an excellent vocalist. She just didn't always fit in very well with what was happening on their stage for a variety of reasons.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like she was fitting in really well. She was harmonizing really well.
Great.
Yeah. I guess I only kind of, there's a few shows I hear where she kind of, I thought initially ruined playing in the band, and then I realized she's just playing in the band, and that's how she's playing in the band.
Well, the thing that is really hard to, I guess, I think it's one of those things. It was a lot more exciting if you were actually there.
Yeah.
Whereas listening to her unedited contributions on a archival recording with no post processing or equal, I mean, that's not always a super fair. What makes us go, oh my God, why are you doing that? Today in concert then was probably pretty exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, we were chatting about. I needed that Row Jimmy.
And most of our listeners aren't going to know what that is.
Well, it's a song called Row Jimmy.
Yeah, that's correct. It was a new song in February of 1973.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, brand new.
Wow.
That was probably the third time played in Lincoln.
Wow.
And it's a slow song. It's an introspective number. It's like a big hug from Uncle Jerry.
Dude, that is the best description of how I felt.
Yeah.
And because work life right now is a little nuts. It's always that way in the theater right before a show opens. So that's just par for the course. But I've been working with this idea of just like, it can't all get done in one day. And my like I mentioned this right before you hit record. Like I'm working with that idea of like, okay, progress, not perfection, right?
Right.
Just get out and row, Jimmy. That's all you got to do. Just row the boat. And
Right.
then when you're tired, take a break and then row again. Just
Yeah.
keep rowing. And I
Well,
was
and
like,
there's that, the bridge is the line, that's the way it's been in town ever since they tore the jukebox
box
down.
down.
2-bit piece don't buy no more. Not so much as it done before. So I say row.
Yeah,
And that's
man.
just really poignant, and it applies to on a lot of levels. It's like, yeah, things ain't. Yeah, the jukebox done been torn down. That
Yeah.
party's over.
Yeah.
So now what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're gonna row,
Yeah, baby.
and you know,
Mm,
that's a message that is universal.
mm.
Anybody can relate to that.
I think that there is the beauty of a lyric like that is, I find that I definitely find this in the Grateful Dead, but I've also found this in my favorite band Pearl Jam too, is that it means different things at different times in your life. I think there was a time there is a on a day on a different day, Row Jimmy Row could make me very sad and melancholy.
Sure. Yeah.
But yesterday it was the most sort of accepting, understanding, encouraging thing,
Well, and
like,
that's I think what it comes down to. And I mean, I know it's. I mean, I've been that song has been part of my life for 30 plus years.
mm-hmm.
So the visions that those lyrics conjure have changed a lot over the years.
Yeah.
Lots of different events have come and gone. A lot of water under the bridge. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yeah.
And it still applies today.
Yeah.
Whatever thing that I'm attached to or craving or whatever, my jukebox done been torn down.
Yep. Well,
It's very helpful to like, oh right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that is gone.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gone. Okay,
Yeah.
next.
Yeah. And that's acceptance, that's impermanence, that's
That's what it is. It's impermanence.
yeah.
And I guess you could get really hung up on them tearing the jukebox down.
Yeah.
It does say they tore it down. So
Yeah.
you get really hung up on them.
Yep.
Doesn't change the fact that it's gone.
Mm. Where are
So what
you
are you gonna
rowing?
do?
Where are you rowing to next?
Right.
Ooh.
I guess you could just sit in the boat and stew about them while
Well,
it's leaking and sinking.
the 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 recovery ramifications of that are pretty cool because I stole this from, it's recovery lore, that like recovery really doesn't make sense until it's like starting, you have to row in an invisible boat,
Oh yeah.
like get in the invisible boat with the invisible oars and start rowing and the boat will appear,
Yeah.
and
That's such a great analogy.
yeah.
I don't believe any of this. Yeah, we'll do it anyway.
Yeah. Row Jimmy.
Pretty much. Or don't.
Or don't.
Right.
But the jukebox is torn down, man. Like it's gone. So
right.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but I want that jukebox to come back.
But it was so fun, and it was the one with the bubbles in it, and
it's the one that played all the songs that I liked.
Yeah, and it was neon.
Good, and it made everything okay.
Yeah, and it was contained. There was a certain amount of songs in there that I knew I could listen to.
Yeah.
And yeah,
and now it's gone. And now I have to find new music.
And the connection between the jukebox being torn down and the whole idea of it being, the 50th anniversary of the Dead playing at Pershing, and Pershing is about to be torn down, man.
Yeah. Right. See, it all comes full circle.
Yeah, dude. Well, there's a group of people trying to preserve that sweet mural.
I think, the mural's been removed.
Yeah, but they don't. It's not displayed anywhere, is it?
I don't know.
Maybe I have my.
But I know they got the money to at least remove it before the building got demolished, so it's stored someplace.
I think they're gonna put
Which
it up.
I mean, I was literally just down there and I looked at where the mural used to be and I'm like, all of those little tiles.
Yeah.
Like that was a huge task.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do with a couple $1 million, I guess.
I guess. I don't know if they reassembled it or there's a group like petitioning to have it reassembled, or maybe they did at Wyuka, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a piece of history.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's got this. Yeah. When was that place built?
56.
So yeah, it's got this very mid-century sort of tile mural vibe to it. And,
yeah.
And I was reminiscing earlier because there was some, one of those Facebook things going around about copy and paste, like your favorite concert, your first concert, your last concert. My first, and I count my first concert as the first non like churchy Christian rock band. I don't count those.
Right.
My first like rock and roll concert was Soul Asylum and Matthew Sweet at Pershing Auditorium.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Well, so there you have it.
There it is.
I haven't seen a ton of things at Pershing, but I mean, I saw Fish there in '95, and that's still to date top 3 concerts.
Dude,
it was amazing. I mean, they blew the roof off the dump. It was incredible.
I remember my stepbrother went and had a transcendent experience, and I was going to illegally drive from Ord to Lincoln to go to that, but my mom like basically said no fucking way.
Weird that she would do that.
I know. Thank you, Mom. I know you listen to the podcast. Thank you. That was like, it was like an ice storm. Like I probably would have not made it, She made the right call. She did. Love you, Mom.
Yeah, but you still missed one of the best concerts ever. And it's still pretty. And what's so weird to think that in the year 2023, and Fish is still very active, 40 years later or whatever, 40 years into their career, that show, me seeing Fish at Pershing in '95 was the equivalent of seeing the Grateful Dead at Pershing in 1973.
Yeah. Yeah. The timelines. Wow. Yeah. Huh.
Yep.
Yeah. I've listened to that Fish show, and it's a ripper.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's still very much they hadn't got into the minimalist funk thing yet.
No, they were
still into ripping your head off.
Yeah. I just watched their I contemplated. I didn't end up doing it because I had some Zelda to play, but I was gonna buy the webcast. These are the big problems in my life. I was like, man, should I buy the Fish webcast of them in Mexico, or should I play Zelda? Yeah, that was my Saturday.
Did you watch their New Year's celebration in Madison Square Garden? That was amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
It was amazing. Every year,
the theatrics of it all.
How are they going to top last year? And then they do.
I know. Yeah, they do.
It's amazing. Yeah. So what else is going on?
Oh man, that's it. That's kind of what
that's it.
That's it.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
All right, everybody. Email the podcast at ttbbpodcast@gmail.com. That was a quickie. Sometimes a quickie's all you need.
That's true. Gets the job done.
Nah, that's just what I was tripping on, man. Like, just coping and finding healthy ways to cope. Because
this morning I was, I do actually think about like, what am I trying to do to be better?
Yeah.
Like, what am I, and it really is a day-to-day thing. And like this morning I had to go run an errand. And I thought, I'll just drive. It's kind of cold out and I don't know. And I'm like, dude, get on the bike. Get on the bike.
How was that?
You have the time. You can do it. Just move a little, move your ass.
Move your ass, dude.
Yeah. And so I did. And I'm really glad that I did.
Good for you.
Yeah. It felt really good.
I have after this, I'm going to go. So I have a swim coach. I have a swim teacher.
Oh yeah. Are you going swimming?
So I've had 2 lessons with Tim, the swim teacher at the Cooper YMCA. Shout out to Tim. This guy is, I don't know how old he is. He's 60 plus, somewhere in there.
Oh wow.
Cut from stone. Intense as hell. He used to swim, like he used to do triathlons and shit.
Wow.
Like this guy's he's I told Kirsten, and maybe somebody in Lincoln knows him. It'd be fun to have him on. He's an intense guy. He's like the Doc Brown of swimming coaches. You know what I mean? From Back to the Future, Doc Brown.
Oh,
Dr.
wow, cool. Yeah, great.
Yeah. Very, like Marty. Like he's just like you gotta we're gonna do the fingertip drag. We gotta get your elbow up because that in drag, like we've got to make sure that it's streamlined position. 1.21 gigawatts. Like he's that guy. He's awesome. And I'm like, okay.
See if he'll do the pod.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's very intense, but he knows how to like. It was cool though because my last lesson, it takes a lot to get Joel Egger anywhere at 8 a.m, right? 8 a.m. So I'm like, all right, let's do this swim lesson 8 a.m. And I had to practice and make sure I had my drills down, and he's giving me all these new things. So after the pod this afternoon, I'm gonna hop over to the Y and work on my drills.
Nice.
So that I'm ready for our next lesson, but it's going good. This last lesson was kind of the one that kind of he had me do a few things that were it was rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time, right? With the breathing and the form and the strokes and all that. And I had a couple of moments when I was doing those drills with him where I thought, oh, I see where we're headed. My body was like, this can happen. You can do this. Mm-hmm. This is going to click. But up until that point, dude, I was like, I don't think I can swim freestyle. And then, so he's teaching me. I'm learning. It's good.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you're old dog, new tricks.
Speaking of that,
okay.
I'm not prepared for this at all. But there is, and I haven't finished it, but Duncan Trussell recently had this guy on by the name of Stephen Kotler. And he talks about how the old dog, new tricks thing, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That phrase is total bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was this, he cited this Harvard study where this psychiatrist, I don't know, faculty member there did this study with 80-plus-year-old men.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she took them she rented out a monastery, and they set it up like a movie set from 1961. Everything down to the magazines on the coffee tables were from 1961.
Yeah.
And all of these 80-year-olds went there, and she had a group that she said, just reminisce and remember. And then a group that pretend as if it's 1961. You act your job is to just act as if it's 1961.
Okay.
And these 80-year-olds, by the end of the trip, while they were waiting for the bus to pick them up to go back to Harvard, were playing touch football and standing up straight and they weren't feeling the effects of their arthritis. They measured their hands got, because they were older and their joints were gnarled.
Kind of gnarled.
Yeah, and they were they were taller. They were playing touch football. They were, their memories had started to come back. This idea that we in old age are just kind of doomed to decay is actually bullshit. Anyway, he's got books out, and I haven't finished the episode, but it's pretty mind-blowing.
Well, I can think of one example in particular, our mutual friend Donna W., who's 90-something and on fire.
Totally. Completely on fire.
Why don't we get her on the pod?
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah. Donna's over 90 years old and getting out there doing stuff,
Yeah, she's a great example of that.
And that's really part of the reason why I got on the damn bike today, because Well, our friend and past guest Terry Warwick said this one time, like, as he restores cars for a living for people that have money to restore cars.
Yeah.
And he's like, he just said from like a health standpoint, his customers kind of get divided into two categories: those that have taken care of themselves and those that haven't.
Mm,
Once they hit 60 or whatever,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
people, there is a very definite defining line between people that have lived a healthy lifestyle up to that point and people that haven't.
Yeah.
They all have money,
Right.
but there are the ones that are very active and very, healthy and vibrant. And then there are the ones that Terry has done things like put power steering in their old sports cars because they literally just can't drive them anymore.
Oh,
They don't have
wow.
the
Yeah.
strength to drive them,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And like that's so I'm like, well, which side of that equation do I want to be on?
Yeah. Yes. Like that's kind of this weird thing with that I'm experiencing right now, which is like I've realized, and I'm taking Josh Corda's example of like he learned how to skateboard in his 50s or something.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
He's like playing the trumpet. I'm like,
I
I
tried
want
to do that at 45 and decided that wasn't a smart idea.
yeah. I'm like, I'm going to learn how to swim. I think that that's an activity that I could do long term, but it's also, yeah, I feel it creating wrinkles in my brain, right? Like new connections are being made.
Yeah.
And the thing that like, that this swim coach, I don't know this guy from anybody. I don't know him personally, but like after our last lesson, he was talking to me a little bit. He's like, yeah, the drill that I taught you today, I use a lot. And he's like, I'm actually going to stay in the pool. He's like, we can be done. He's like, I'm going to stay in the pool and swim. And I'm like, well, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm gonna swim back and forth for like probably 45 minutes, and then I'll take a drink of water, and then I'm gonna do it for another 45. I'm like, can I just sit and watch? And this guy he's like, yeah, of course. Like, watch the form. And I watched him for like 10 minutes.
Right.
Like, holy shit. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to have that kind of ability to do that stuff. And call it whatever you want, but it's like, yeah, I see the benefits of coping with change, not sitting there looking at the dusty old jukebox being torn down and say, it's over. Crying. It's over.
Right. Yeah, that's so real. And that, like, I see, like, I've had just multiple examples of, well, people not wanting to acknowledge the impermanence of certain situations and how that works out. And then other examples of people saying, yeah, it's impermanent. Okay, well, I'm going to go do the next thing.
Right. It's
free. Like, it's very hard. It's very hard. Well, I'm getting better at not watching people suffer because of their own attachments.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it sucks for you. I feel, but I got to go.
Yeah. It can either be it's freeing within, it can be freeing within. It can be really, it can create a lot of suffering. Like the truth of impermanence and things always changing and all conditioned phenomena changing and ending can be really freeing or really, horrible. And when you start to see that within, you definitely, like you said, you see it in other people. I had an example of that recently, and I'll be very vague about it, but I was like, man, like, I see you struggling, man. I see you struggling with this, but my job is to maintain my own peace and serenity. And I hate that you are not in that spot, but I can't fix that for you. That's where my codependent self comes in. And I'm like,
no, 100%. Yeah. Let me get in there with you.
Yeah.
Even though none of it's anything I have any control over.
But yeah, let me spend all of my fun tickets trying to fix something that is not going to be fixed by me at all, but I'll spend them all for you.
Right. And that's, I think, I think that's an important line, because it's not a matter of like being callous or like indifferent. It's like, I literally, like, even if I could give everything that I have emotionally or whatever to this situation and it wouldn't fix it.
No, not at
So,
all.
I mean, it's like, so I'm not going to give anything to it
Yeah, because I
beyond
could.
like an acknowledgement of like, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, that sucks.
Yeah.
And it
Um.
does like it's not a complete indifference. It's because that's a different thing. Like, well, I don't
Yeah.
care about that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, yeah, I mean, I obviously like if somebody that I love is going through a thing that is hard or sad or whatever. I mean, yeah, I feel that,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna spend what little energy that I have that's extra in a way that's not helpful to either of us to like that's just a waste.
Yeah. That's like equanimity, like that idea that I can cultivate my own peace within, and I can also see that it's your job to cultivate your own peace within you. I can help
Yes.
you along that, but only to a certain degree.
Right.
Kirsten fucking threw I was talking to her about a situation that I was kind of, bent out of shape about yesterday, and she threw my own quote back in my face.
I hate
Which
when that happens.
I mean, it was good, but it sucked. She said, I must have said this to her, I don't know, months ago or something, and she wrote it down. But it was, my happiness, in order for me to maintain my own peace and serenity, my happiness is not dependent upon anyone else's wellness.
Right. Yes. And I've had to learn that one the hard way,
Oh,
like the really hard way.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because I have allowed my happiness to depend on so many external things in my life. You
Mhm.
know this.
Yep.
And I mean, I look back at some of those whatever attachments or just situations where I was like, why was I like, I was really codependent, I guess is the
Yeah.
easiest way to put
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And like, I've really had to um, acknowledge that
Yeah.
and then parent myself through that.
Oh God. It's so yeah. Yep. I mean, it's so true though. Like that's the thing. Like, you know, I'm fortunate to have my folks still on this earth and I love them dearly. So if you're listening, I love you dearly. You all parented us the best way you knew how. And this is not a complaint about uh anything you did, mom, but I think we all have that is all our journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is to get to a point where the analogy keeps coming up, but the shiny comfort of our childhood jukebox has been decimated, right?
Yeah.
It's not bad nor good. It's just that's life. That's what happens.
Right.
And we get to a point where we do, like you said, have to reparent ourselves, and we can do that with destruction or we can do that with love, and allow that higher self to give ourselves what we really need, because trying to seek that and trying to find, that comfort from external circumstances is really toxic and
Oh,
real. It's a, it's like, it's like a hungry ghost that's never going to get fed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I so I've had it. God, brain words are hard. Um, along the lines of like, well, covering a little more ground.
Mm.
This afternoon, I'm going to go sing Mozart
What?
or try to Requiem, Mozart's Requiem,
Oh
which is
shit.
Latin and incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
And I really feel like I bit off more than I can chew, but it's like a volunteer. It's this Omnivox choir through Pius,
Mm-hmm.
and it's we're putting on like a Lent thing with the Pius choirs and this like this community men's vocal group that I've kind of wanted to participate in for a couple of years, but it just hasn't happened. And this year I just said, screw it, I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm kind of regretting it because it's intense.
Yeah.
I mean, the music is so hard.
Yeah.
And the director, his name is Todd Creer, and he's amazing. Like the guy is a force of nature, and the kids love him. Like he can literally command the attention of 100 high school kids with like just looking a certain way. You know, and they will stop and pay attention to him. And it's not out of fear, it's out of respect. I mean, the guy he drives the kids to excellence in a way that it's just incredible. Like the community is very lucky to have this guy. And watching him direct the choirs, it's very apparent that he very much loves what he does.
Yeah,
like he's so cool. In the moment, he's so into it, and it's just really inspiring. And so I thought, well, I want to be a part of that, you know. If I have the opportunity, sure, why the hell not? Why wouldn't I, you know? And now I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard, and I hope I don't embarrass myself and my daughter.
Well, I mean, but you're in a choir, right? Like I did choir in high school, and I remember I felt like I was a better singer in a section.
Sure.
Right. But when I had to do a solo, that's a whole nother ball of wax.
I'm really hoping to, I mean, like I said, it's an all volunteer thing, but I call him Mr. Creer, Todd Creer. And like in his emails, he's like, these rehearsals are not to learn the material. Come prepared.
Ooh, he's one of those. He's like, yeah.
Like this is not coming. I'm not really sure how this Latin thing works. You know?
Yeah. Teacher.
Right. Kind of. Yeah, no, that's not. And I have been practicing, and I mean, there's this one movement that it's these 16th note runs that are long and complicated.
Yeah.
And fortunately, there's apps now that you can slow the recorded tracks down without changing the pitch. And it sounds kind of weird, but like I've slowed them down to half speed, and it's still like a struggle.
Yeah.
So, and it's not the whole I thought about like that.
We did well, I remember in high school, we would always do a Christmas cantata or whatever it's called. And we did a part of the Hallelujah chorus or something. I don't know if it was for Christmas or Easter. I don't remember. But that shit was hard. You know what I mean? And like, I did not, full disclosure, I did not take my music home. You know what I mean? Like I was not that kid, right? Like, but now, you could probably pull up YouTube videos. What are you, a bass, baritone?
Bass.
Yeah, you could pull up the bass part of
I'm actually
Mozart's
probably
Requiem.
a baritone, but there is no baritone part. It's either tenor or bass.
Ooh, so you got to go really low?
I got to go really low, and it's really hard. I can't quite make the lowest notes. But I also couldn't hit the highest notes of the tenor part.
Yeah, tenor.
Which is really funny because when I sing rock and roll, I usually sing high harmony.
So why aren't you a tenor?
Because the rock and roll high harmony is done in a way that is not befitting to classical music.
Oh, right. It's just constricting all of your vocal folds to the point of blood.
Pretty much, yeah. And it sounds, well, I'm not going to say it sounds great, but it's fun to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the that thing, that's different.
That's cool, man. When does this go up?
The performance is on the 5th.
March 5th.
Yeah, which is going to be really fun because so we have rehearsal this afternoon for 3 hours. Then I'm going to Exile rehearsal right after that. And then next weekend, we rehearse with the Omnivox thing, the Mozart, on Saturday morning. And then Saturday night into Sunday morning, I'm playing in Omaha with Exile at Shakedown Street. And that's going to be fun, but I'm not going to get home till like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then we have 2 concerts that afternoon with the Mozart.
Your voice is going to be great.
It's going to be great. And I'm going to be just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
You're going to be a real peach.
I'm going to be a real peach. I'm glad that I'm singing in a chorus. Let me put it that way. But it sucks because this is like my first time singing with this group, and I really want to be. I don't want to go in there that Sunday and be like, guys, you're just going to have to bear with me. I have a huge headache and I haven't slept.
Yeah, don't be that guy.
I can't. I have to just suck it up and smile and sing the things.
Wow,
that's
cool.
My strong suit when I'm running on 4 hours of sleep is being social.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. I'm really regretting agreeing to do one of these things.
It may not be brutal. It may
It
be
might not
so it might be so cool that you are like doing all of
just on
these different.
fire.
Yeah.
Well, and that's see now. Thank you for saying that because that's the
Yeah.
headspace I need to be in. It's like charge.
Yeah, dude.
We're gonna play the rock and roll. We're gonna go sing the Mozart. We're gonna kick some artistic ass and take some names.
Fuck yeah. You got this. I mean, yeah, your body might be tired, but you'll sleep.
I'll
It's
sleep
fun.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my
There
God.
are worse ways to spend a weekend, right?
Absolutely. Yes. So so on the flip side of all of that, well, no, flip side, but last night Holly and I went down to the 1867 bar. Are you familiar
Yeah,
with that place?
you sent some pretty interesting photos. You're down there
Yeah.
seeing like metal and shit.
Very much so metal. Yes. In fact, well, the my friend AJ's uh they're called Hosting Monsters, and they call themselves like hard punk kind of, I think is what he said. And that's kind of what it is, but like, it's like the screaming vocals, power chords,
Yeah.
and they were great. They just I've known, I used to work with AJ at the J Star years ago. That was like when I was in string puppet orchestra playing the punk
Oh, okay.
thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think he had a band at the time, but he was always really supportive and thought we sounded good and whatever. And AJ's a good dude. And so he's been playing in this Hosting Monsters band for like 4 years, and I have never seen him. And because it just kind of hasn't, we're like, they've done benefits for the Well-Being Initiative and all that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
And I haven't been able to go to any of those for one reason or another. And it just kind of worked out. Holly and I had scheduled the date night. We're going out. And it just kind of worked out that they were playing for this touring. They were opening up, being like the local opener act for this tour of these whatever goth rock horrorcore bands.
Horrorcore.
Horrorcore.
Oh,
not horrorcore.
Horrorcore is something completely different. Sorry, everybody.
And, like horror metal.
Yeah. Doomcore.
Doomcore, sure, yeah. I mean, this is all very outside of my like the actual headliner is Cyclone 9, which is like, I mean, that's a whole, I watched some of the YouTube videos of that and I'm like, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But whatever, I'm like, we're going down and this 1867 Club's bar. I think it's the 1867. Whatever, it's great.
Yeah.
The owner's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Her name's Kelsey. She's great. We've been friends on Facebook for a few years now just because of chickens. Somehow that came together. She has chickens and we have chickens.
Okay.
We have chickens.
Chicken community.
Yeah. And but she's awesome. I mean, just cool person. And so it was nice to meet her last night in person finally. And Hosting Monsters killed. They were fun. And and then we stuck around for a few of the touring acts. And here's man, I tell you, it takes a lot of balls, a lot of just to go out and drive across the United States in a couple rented RVs, being huge freaks.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not like exactly my thing of freaky, my idea of a freak.
Yeah.
But like, and I mean that with all the respect in the world, to go out and just be like, it was my cup of tea. Not exactly, but it was, I mean, there was art and it was, it was just really, it was a good time. And like they're out there doing the art thing on the road in an America that is becoming less and less friendly to things that aren't Toby Keith.
Right. The freak in you sees the freak in them.
100%. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. And it was just really cool, and my hat's off to that tour. I hope that they remain safe and make a little money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's cool though. That's cool that you're able to contextualize it like that and not just like, this isn't for me and fuck this,
Yeah, I had a great time. A couple friends came down and, I mean, it was just, I really had to like adjust my mindset going in. Because I mean, I grew like Hosting Monsters definitely has some like Misfits influence and that kind of thing. At least that's what I heard,
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on all that. So it was like, oh yeah, I know this.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And it was fun. It was just cool to go out and be, I don't know. I mean, I think the only person in there not wearing black,
That's cool.
It was fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just thinking about like the paying of dues that a touring band has to do. Yeah, like you said, right now. Like, how do you even how do you even get your shit? I mean, you have to tour. If you're a band and you want to do that, you have to fucking do that. I mean, you
Well,
have to
that's
do
the
that
only. I
anyway,
mean,
but
there
it's
was.
not like a I mean, it's like there's too many ways to consume music now to actually get it to people that dig it. I mean,
Well,
there's
that, I mean,
probably an upside to that, but
that's a double-sided coin because the people
right.
that dig it can find you.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just search hashtag. I mean, I'm gonna look it up. Hashtag horrorcore and see what
Horror. Horror.
the horror.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Cyclone 9.
Okay.
Um,
And the local band
like,
is Hosting Monsters.
Hosting Monsters, yeah.
All right. Shout out to
But,
Hosting Monsters.
yeah, totally. But they yeah, I mean, like one of the bands, the first of the touring bands, they're from Providence, Rhode Island.
Damn.
And they came to Lincoln.
You boys aren't from around here, are you?
They came to Lincoln, Nebraska to play for about 40 people.
And are they all touring together?
I think they're all the four bands were on the road together.
Right.
And that's kind of how you would have to do that, I think, for it to be financially viable.
Right.
At all.
Right.
So I mean that's hardcore, man.
That is if you want to be hardcore, if you want to live hardcore, you got to be hardcore, you know.
I think that's kind of how that goes. And that's why, and that's I'm perfectly happy going and playing the Rolling Stones music.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it scratches
totally.
that itch for me. I don't need it to be anything more than that,
Yep.
I get to go get my yayas out and it's fun and people dig it and we even make a little money,
Yeah. You guys are great. Yeah. You found your niche.
Yeah. I love it.
Speaking of local treasures, Friday night I met with my pal Delante and we were gonna get coffee. And I'm like, let's do food. And I remembered an Omaha business just opened up a spot here in Lincoln. They were planning on doing this. And then one of their co-owners and sort of the driving force behind this business unexpectedly and very unfortunately and freakishly died.
Oh.
The Naughty Buddha Burger Bar.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know about Naughty Buddha?
I do. I've been there. Mm-hmm.
So their I think she sort of started it. I might butcher her name. Fataya Ali unexpectedly passed like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago while they were in the process of opening up this Lincoln location.
That's harsh.
Yeah, brutal. They closed the Omaha location and they opened, but it's an all vegan burger restaurant. It's and it's fucking delicious.
Right. Is that the place that had the controversy about whether or not they were actually vegan?
Yes. I mean,
I think it was you that told me about that.
Yeah, there was some. And here's the deal. We all know I don't eat a vegan diet, right? Like I'm a vegetarian. Right. I eat cheese, I eat eggs. So I'm not as hardcore vegan as, I'm just not.
Right.
But yeah, the vegan world for better or worse is very particular about making sure that their ingredients are vegan.
It's an ideological eating disorder.
I mean, oh shit. I'm not going to comment on that at all.
That's from Mark Maron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
I was like, damn, Steve from the top rope, dude. You're going to get us. I mean, of all the fucked up shit we say on this thing, that'll get us canceled.
Hey, they can try to cancel us, baby.
They can try. TTBB podcast at gmail.com. If any vegans out there want to take shots.
It was a joke. Lighten up. Oh my God.
I know. I just thought it was really funny.
It is
funny, they were using some ingredient they were unaware that it had animal byproduct in it, and they discontinued doing that, but they kind of stood their ground in a way. I was like, guys, we didn't know. right? You can crucify us if you want, but we didn't know. And we weren't trying to be shady. At least that's my interpretation of the story.
Fine.
So.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that because I've been there a couple times. I like it a lot.
Yeah. So go support them. The gentleman
where'd they open their store at in Lincoln?
Right next to the Telegraph Mill.
Oh yeah. That's a good location for that.
Yeah, it's great. In that Allo, the the district that Allo built.
Yeah, right. No, that's great. And it gives, Lincoln High students an option besides McDonald's. That's
kind of the jam, like, yeah, they're really good. I was pleasantly
a big fan of Naughty Buddha Burger Bar.
Yeah, you have to you have to kind of set your mind to saying it correctly.
Naughty Buddha.
Naughty Buddha.
Naughty Buddha Burger Bar.
Naughty Booty. I said Naughty Booty. I said it. Naughty Buddha Burger Bar. That's going to be an acting warm-up now in my acting classes.
Naughty
Booty. Naughty Booty. No, that's for my horrorcore weekends.
There you go, folks. You heard it here first.
Joel's into horrorcore. What kind of music you listen to? Little Grateful Dead, little Pearl Jam. Really into horrorcore right now. Big fan of horrorcore.
Oh my God. Cool. Well, did we do it?
I can't. The time has flown, man. Yeah. I just looked at the clock. We've been talking for almost an hour.
I know. It's funny how that happens.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's good.
It is good. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, we did something. We did it. I think we did it.
We did the thing. We created the content.
We did. And you're welcome, everybody.
That's right.
Your shitty spiritual local podcast daddies made you your favorite content for dinner today.
I did not say that.
I did.
You totally did.
Anybody who wants to join me on the horrorcore tour this summer? I'm going to be following
Cyclone 9.
Cyclone 9, Naughty Booty, the Big Dick Review,
Carl Hungus,
and the Pandy Pirates. They're all going to be on tour.
Oh
boy.
Well,
I'm going to go swimming now.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it
cool
is.
Off
I need
a little bit.
Yeah, I need to get some chlorine to disinfect.
Right.
Kill the bacteria. I'm excited to hear about this journey with the choir, man.
Yeah, me too. Well, I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah. All right. Well,
yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
That's right.
If I'm going to make a special request on the outro music that it's the Row Jimmy Row from.
Yeah, I'm way ahead of you there.
All right. I kind of thought that was going to happen, but also go listen to that show, everybody. Even if you don't like the Grateful Dead, go listen to 22673.
It's not for everyone.
But it is.
I know.
It is for everyone.
I was being facetious.
Facetious.
That's the thing is that I was thinking about that because I listened to it. I was out riding my bike, and I just think it's a thing where you have to kind of commit.
Yeah,
because if you're looking for 3.5 minutes of perfectly produced, the immediate endorphin shot of like, yes, this is what that's not the way the Grateful Dead roll, and I think that's the experience they had when they played Pershing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People came out, they wanted to hear Truckin', they might have wanted to hear Sugar Magnolia, they wanted to hear Casey Jones, and the Dead came out and did what they did for 3.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that caused some. Well, the lore around it is that Jerry Garcia called Pershing Auditorium Perishing Auditorium.
Yeah, he was just about 50 years, early on that, but he knew where it was headed. He could see the future.
Well, I think it was just, like, you guys, everybody just chill out.
Everybody chill out. We're here to give you this.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We're really good at this.
Well, it's what they did.
Yeah. We're really good at what we do.
Exactly. Yeah. that's the other thing that I think about, and then I'll shut up. But like, it's so funny. There's this thing of like, high music minded people. Like when there used before the Grateful Dead channel and before the Pearl Jam channel and all that on Sirius, there was and it might have been on XM when they were two different things before they merged, but there was a channel called Jam On.
Yeah, I think that still exists. Yeah.
Well, but I don't listen to it, but when I had it and when I would tune it on, it was like it was programmed by people that were trying to show Deadheads what they should actually be listening to.
Ooh.
Because
that always goes well.
Right. Well, it played things like King Crimson and like 1973 Genesis.
Yeah.
And, and like prog rock and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I've listened to all that. It's fine. It's great. It's very technically proficient, but I don't care about it.
Yeah.
It's not what I love, and it's not what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that people that don't like music, people that don't listen to the Dead don't understand.
Yeah.
Because they're working on their terms.
Yeah, it's not clinical. It's not surgical.
Well, and it's just not. It's like they don't like the Dead never cared about trying to meet those expectations.
Yeah,
they're trying to meet their expectations in their universe that they created.
Right.
And that's the universe that I love, and that's what I want to hear. I want to hear all the fuck ups. I want to hear the looseness. I want to hear the insanity. I want to hear the boring parts. I want, because the boring parts are what lead to the interesting parts.
Yeah, that road Jimmy
like even on, like, for example, on the Eyes of the World on the 22673, like the ending of it is not the tightly knit death machine that is like 1874. A year and a half later, it's kind of just wanders all over the place, and it takes them a minute to get it. It takes them a few minutes to do anything. But you have to be willing to. Well, this is going to go somewhere.
Yeah, and I think you said this a long time ago when we were talking about Fish and the Grateful Dead. I don't think it was on the podcast long before that. Like, Fish is really fun to listen to, but the Grateful Dead, like, Fish just never really made me cry,
right.
like, 100%. And like that's kind of like it's a heart song. It's a heart communication to the heart, to the 100%. Soul. Yeah.
And see, and if that makes you want to puke in your mouth a little bit, then
go listen to Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Great.
I was gonna say there's a lot of other music to listen to.
Yes, there is. There's plenty.
All right.
Hey, man.
Love you.
Love you too.
Yeah. Have fun swimming.
I'll try.
Just keep swimming.
Row.
Do they catch a rabbit by his hair? Come back, step, like to walk on air. I'm back home where you belong. Don't you run off no more. Let the two-time roll. Grass sack nailed to a plywood floor. Pass the time, baby, I don't know. Come back later, gonna let it show. I say roll, Jimmy, get down, roll, roll. Look at Julie down below, the levee doing the door paso. I say roll, Jimmy, roll. Gonna get there, I don't know. Seems a common way to go. Get down, roll, 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 roll. Broken heart don't feel so bad. You ain't got half of what you thought you had. Rock you, baby, to and fro, not too fast and not too slow. And I say roll, Jimmy, roll. Gonna get there, I don't know. Seems a common way to go. Get down, roll, 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 roll. That's the way it's been in town ever since they tore the jukebox down. 2-bit beefs don't buy no more, not so much as it done before. And I say roll, Jimmy, roll. Gonna get there, I don't know. Seems a common way to go. Get down, roll, 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 roll. I say roll, Jimmy, roll. Gonna get there, I don't know. Seems a common way to go. Get down, roll, 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 roll. Get down, roll, 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 roll. Get down, roll, 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 roll.
Don't forget, toot your hooter.